Facebook, what's up? I never really been in my children's little loft before, so I'm trying to adjust. Facebook, populate, what's up, man? Holla at your boy. I'm upstairs, my children's loft. Cats up here, bothering me. Better not hit my tripod. But come on in, Facebook. Got a very special program for you tonight. Got an amazing guest sliding through. Somebody that you need to know, somebody you need to be in tune with. I'm going to tell you what's special about this. And I'm probably going to repeat this, but most of us as entrepreneurs, we miss out on certain parts of the game because we never grow our business to need all of the business pieces that you need in a team. So if I ask the average person, like, yo, if you're putting a team together, like, what pieces will you need? People think about your immediate needs. Whatever your immediate needs are is how your team's going to get built. So if your immediate need, you're like, yo, I need, I don't know. If your immediate needs, you might need somebody to like help you with marketing. You're just like, I need somebody to do marketing. I need somebody to help me with sales. Well, that may be where you start, but there's so many more pieces of a team that come together that make a team lit. All right. So once we get a few people in here, I'm about to go into that, bring my special guest on. We're going to be lit tonight. We're going to be talking spicy. All right. I'm coming to you live from my children's loft. I normally don't shoot videos upstairs where my children's loft is at, but you know, they downstairs in my man cave, so I got to do what I got to do. All right. Yo, you know what? And two, let me send a request. How do I send I don't know. When she get here, I'm gonna have to invite her in, but I got a special guest you don't want to miss tonight. Part of the reason you don't want to miss tonight is because you should be interested in growing your business to the point where you need the service that this sister offers. Like, if you're in the beginning stages of your business, I'm gonna let her talk about when you need her services. I know for me personally, at a certain point of my business, I realized, like, with all the mistakes I was making and the things that I wasn't doing and owing taxes and whatnot, like, yo, I don't understand this business thing the way I thought I did. And, you know, I didn't take no business admin classes or nothing like that. Nobody taught me nothing. I was figuring the game out as I went. So I got a very special guest who'll be in the house with us tonight. I'm just waiting for her to pop in. As soon as she pops in, I'm telling you, you don't want to miss this sister. She's a powerhouse. I'm really excited to have her because if you know me, then you know I'm multidimensional, yeah, but it's only a few things I really talk about in depth with a lot of passion. Of course, my people, because everything I do, man, is to like help the community, help our people, help us come up, man. We in a bad condition. Tired of seeing our young folks dying early. I'm tired of the drugs and all that type. Oh, got our special guest here. Okay, we gonna send the invite. She should be popping in it now. And that means we about to be talking spicy. You know what? Let me put my phone on. Sorry, I had to put my phone on Do Not Disturb because I already know folks gonna be, yo, what you on? And then soon as I jump on the live. Oh, snap, there we go. Hey, Miss Lady, how are you? Can you hear me? Soon as I jump on the live. Can you hear me? Okay, let's see. Let's make sure we connected. Can you let me turn my
there.
All right, I turned my Bluetooth off. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, bet. How are you tonight?
Good. How are you?
I am good. I was just talking about, before I introduce you, I was just stating this point that a lot of times for those of us who are entrepreneurs, we don't stay in business long enough to really experience all the pieces you need to have a successful business. Like when we think about building a team, most of the time it's whatever your immediate need is. So you might be like, yo, I need somebody to help me with marketing. I need somebody to help me with sales. But the business is so much bigger than just somebody helping you with marketing, somebody helping you with sales. There's so many other pieces. So and important pieces too. So I'm gonna tell you the 3 important pieces that I'm gonna introduce you, right? Not that these are the only 3, but 3 pieces. Unfortunately, I had to find out the hard way, right? I found out I needed an attorney, right? Because in business, when it gets sticky, and when people think you're making money, it doesn't matter if you actually are or not. They don't know. When they think you're making money, people see that as an opportunity for them to make money off the money you've made, right? So you need an attorney. Number 2, you need a very good accountant, CPA. You need somebody that can help you keep your life in order. All right. Trust me on this one. Some of this stuff, if you don't have, okay, I'm gonna put it like this. If you have a weakness, right, recognize your weaknesses. But if you try to improve your weakness to do everything, not only will you not be good at anything, you're just gonna have a strong weakness. It's smarter, it's wiser, and it's more cost efficient to spend the money to get somebody who's strong in areas you're weak, and that's how you should build your team. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and jump into this bio right quick so we can talk spicy to y'all tonight. I'm excited about this one. I like people that talk my language, and my language is success. My language is definitely money. My language is impact, and my language is freedom. Freedom of time and freedom financially to be able to be everything God created you to be. All right. Tonight we have with us the one and only, the lovely Malasia Jordan in the building, okay? Certified bookkeeper who specializes in cleaning up and reorganizing service-based businesses, accounting, and bookkeeping mistakes. Keyword mistakes. I made a lot, okay? She's renowned for implementing automated bookkeeping systems to handle your day-to-day needs, essentially by becoming your virtual back office. Malasia believes a great bookkeeper will always save you more than they will cost you, and I can bear witness, okay? She's helped several small businesses save thousands on taxes, legal compliance fines, and costly mistakes. She's helped all her clients reach a new level of success and profitability by providing accurate reporting. Currently, she's educating small business owners in basic bookkeeping skills and QuickBooks trainings through her exclusive workshops. I need y'all to tap in with her, okay? Malasia Jordan is a certified bookkeeper through the National Association of Public Bookkeepers and holds a certificate as a QuickBooks Pro Advisor. She holds a Bachelor in Science of Business from the University of Phoenix and a secondary undergrad certification in Small Business and Entrepreneurship Management. When she's not helping business owners clear up their finances, she enjoys coaching her local Boys and Girls Club dance team and spending time with her family. Malasia, what's up? Talk to us. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm blessed. Whenever I get a chance to talk about monies, talk about how we can make more monies, how we can save money, you know, that just gets my spirit bright. So I'm super happy to be here. I had to sit in front of my bag of money to represent our future. You know, you got to see it to believe it. So I put it right smack that there so we can see it. So we all know that in the future we can open up a bag of money and it be right there. But I'm beyond blessed to be here to talk to you, to everybody today, because you mentioned something really big: mistakes. Mistakes. We all make mistakes, and some of them could be more costly than others. I probably made $100,000 worth of mistakes in my life, but that is what exactly brought me to this point. So that is really truly what got me into bookkeeping, was all the mistakes I made. A lot of people know my story. I opened my first business when I was 21 years old, which is about 7 years ago now, and it failed. It's not because I didn't have clients and not because I didn't have people coming in. I had money coming in, but with the money coming in, I didn't know about sales tax. I didn't know you had to pay the government their share. I didn't know about organizing my finances. I was out here spending more money than I was getting in. I had no idea what my money was doing. And as a business, your bottom line is key. If you're not making money, you're not a business.
Okay, hold on. Wait a second. Hold on. You giving the game away as soon as we hold on. Okay, let's back up for a second. Tell us, right, before we even get there, just so for relatability factors, tell us kind of like what you were like growing up and like kind of like what made you want to become an entrepreneur.
Poverty. Growing up was really, really hard for me. My parents weren't really in my life. I lived with my grandparents. Poverty. and I faced a lot of poverty till I was old enough to take care of myself. And that right there pushes you. My first business I ever did was a lemonade stand. I know that sounds real corny, but it was true. I remember going outside my grandparents' house, setting up a lemonade stand, making some money, and then I realized I had to go to the store and buy product. And that means I had to spend a portion of my money expenses to get it and bring it back. And I was like, I like how this operates. And then I started watching shows when I seen black women in suits and heels and briefcases and walking. And I'm like, I want to have that confidence. I want to have that. I just want to be that type of person. So I grew, and then I knew entrepreneurship was me. I had no problem working the business. I know I'm a great worker for somebody else, but I always knew my calling was to help other people, especially when it came to business and their money.
Okay, so you hitting on some key points so early on, right? So even in your childhood, you had a passion and you kind of knew what you wanted to be, right? So before we even jump into like just giving the game away, because I know folks is coming, they like, yo, listen, first of all, that's my favorite subject to get into, and I'm not ashamed to talk about it because everything in this world costs money. You need money to do pretty much everything. Sunlight's free, oxygen's free, water's free, supposedly, but we paying for that in bottles, right? Like even the airwaves ain't really free, right? Like the stuff we think is free. So in your childhood, you saw these things, but you said something key. You said you saw women that you wanted to pattern yourself after. Can you like give us a little game on that? Like,
yes, it was nobody like in my immediate family that was doing what I was doing, that I'm doing now. There was nobody who was that powerhouse woman who really was stepping outside of the ordinary. Because when I was growing up, everybody was into the 9-to-5 things. Being an entrepreneur back then was like real, either for a different race or it just wasn't what everybody was trying to do. So when I seen those women on TV, powerful, walking into beautiful houses, wearing top of the line suits, heels, red bottom shoes, I'm like, that's luxury. And as a black girl growing up in poverty, it's like seeing another black woman live luxury, it made it a realistic for me. So it gave me a realistic view that black girls can have a luxury style life too. So that really was what inspired me, was those women, seeing them. And it's just now I need to walk in my heels, hear my heels clicking on the floor too, you know? So yeah.
That's what's up. I appreciate that because I've been having different conversations with different people, and one of the things we discuss is like luxury. And you know, I'm a huge component of like the law of attraction, Think and Grow Rich, science of getting rich, and there's absolutely, matter of fact, to me, it's insane to live in this world and not have some focus or concern on making money independently, because I just been burned too many times, like, you know, too many times. So it's good to hear you say that, you know. Matter of fact, I'm going to say this and I'm going to move on. My podcast, it hasn't dropped yet, right? I got a new podcast coming out. One of our conversations that we had on the podcast, we discussed like, what's your initial thought when you see somebody? Because in business, first impressions are a lot. So if I got to choose two bookkeepers, one bookkeeper, when I go see her, got the Gucci dress on, she might got some red bottoms, she might have a nice little, you know, whatever. And the other one is, you know, she dressed cool, but it's like not the same. I'm more than likely, for me personally, I'm not saying this to anybody else, I'm saying for me personally, I'm going to be attracted to and go towards the bookkeeper. If I'm choosing between those two women that looks a certain way, because there seems to be like a level of success that you can visibly see. And it's not necessarily that I'm saying like, yo, you got to go get designer to be, you know, nice. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that the appearance, like just the way you carry yourself, it speaks volumes. So can you talk on that for a second? Because I'm interested in opinions on this conversation, because it went every which way on the podcast. So I'm interested to hear your opinion.
Well, I'm gonna let this out. I'm currently going through a rebrand, and I'm rebranding and naming my business the Bougie Bookkeeper. And I'm naming it that because everybody started calling me bougie. Like since I was young, everybody's been calling me bougie. Why? Because all bougie means is entering a new level of wealth, a new level of success, leveling up eliteness. So we as Black people and as Black women, stop thinking that we don't deserve luxury. Stop thinking money is wrong. Stop thinking it's wrong to want those red bottoms, to want those heels, to want that nice house on the mansion. There is absolutely nothing wrong, because it shows you leveling up. If you worked hard for it, it shows you leveling up. You deserve it. Everything that's going to come to me, I deserve. I worked for it. I got it. I made it. So anybody who has a problem with me walking around in my red bottoms, me and my $3,000 purse, that's your problem. I paid for this. You can't
now
pay
we
for
talking
it.
spicy. I like it.
You can't pay for it. So the only reason you're breaking me down is because you're mad because you can't do it yourself. But instead, you can watch what I do, or I can teach you what I do, and you can get here too. So I'm all for luxury. I'm all for promoting it. It's a difference between being luxury and greedy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a difference between you being so focused on money that you don't have a soul, that you're not worried about when you get that money, you're not worried about being somebody who can be a provider. One thing about me is once I get to the amount of money that I want, I'm a provider. I'm a connector. I'm an investor. You know, I give my 10% to God, and then, you know, when I go to church, the church that I go to don't need an offering plate. Why? Because I'm there. The organization that I'm a part of, they don't need no sponsors. They don't need no chairman. I am the bank.
Talk to us.
So it's more than just buying things. It's being there for other people, your community. With the money that I plan on making, I can provide houses for people. I can provide homes, cars. Your car break down, you come to me, no problem. Let's get it fixed. I'll get you the money that you need. Not you struggling for 10 days trying to figure out how to make your ends meet. That's what luxury really truly means to me. It's not fast cars, high price. That's fun and all, but at the end of the day, if I could be a true help for somebody in need, that's more what luxury is to me.
All right, I'm gonna share this true story with you. We'll get spicy with it. All right, so I had a parent come in for parent-teacher intake to bring their children into the school. Right, they was trying to decide, do they want to sign up their child to go to my school. So I get to the meeting, I'm dressed just like this, right? Like, no, none. I come in Versace shades. I'm in there. And the lady says to me, she was like, this is a parent. She was like, yo, you kind of flashy to be a principal, ain't you? And I asked her one question. I said, well, the dope dealer's dressed like this, but who would you prefer your child to look up to? The dope dealer or the brother that's teaching your child how to become a millionaire? Then all of a sudden, the rest of the meeting was completely different, right? Because like we just got this thing, like I don't know what it is, where we think poverty is like in fashion. Like we like, yo, I don't know if it's religion, I don't know if it's philosophy, I don't know if it's just how we came up, I don't know if it's the media, but like we glorify poverty like as if poverty, we say stuff like money can't buy you happiness. Well, poverty damn sure can't buy you happiness.
Right.
So I grew up in poverty. I know all about that. I know about the struggle. I know about the bottom, evictions, repossessions, lights out. Like I know all of that story. And that never brought me happiness. But to be in a position in life where I can help impact other people and show them how they can live a high quality life, it's not even the things, it's the experiences that you get. Those experiences those experiences are life changing. I was 26 years old the first time I had a real apple. Like, because I thought what Walmart sold were actual, I didn't realize they gassed the fruit with ethanol, and that apple's not supposed to taste like that. I had to leave the country. I think I was in Mexico, and I was like, yo, what's this? And they're like, yo, that's an apple. I'm like, nah, fam, this is, but it was, but that's because I didn't have access to money and didn't have access to resources. So we about to talk now. So let's get into a little bit of this bookkeeping, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm still learning more, right? Like I've made, just like every other entrepreneur, I've made trillions of mistakes, right? My successes shine more, but my mistakes overtake any successes that I have, because I have 1,000 mistakes to every one success, right? And I mentioned this earlier, and I want you to talk on this. So I was mentioning before you got on, and I mentioned it right when you got on, oftentimes as entrepreneurs, our businesses don't grow to the point where we even recognize the people we need. Like, you may not think you need a bookkeeper. When you hustling out your trunk, you're like, yo, I don't need a bookkeeper. You got notes on your notebook. You're not even, you know what I'm saying? You don't understand. But I want, from your perspective, how should an entrepreneur that's like new to the game, how should they view a bookkeeper? And then when does your service become like vital? Like, yo, if you don't have this, you about to run into problems. I want it from your perspective, because I think you're right in there, and your perspective holds so much weight.
So when it comes to startups, why is a bookkeeper so important? It really truly is so that you can know how to reduce costs and how to save money in the very beginning. Because when you are spending all these money on products or you spend all this money on your inventory, you have to know where you can cut costs. But if you don't have a list of how much this is costing you in inventory, how much your space is costing you, how much you're spending in gas, then how do you know where you can save money? And then while you're buying all this new equipment, you could be writing those off as taxes. While you're driving your car around, selling out your trunk, that gas that you're using, that's a tax write-off. All of that can be write-offs and save you money, because at the end of the year, when you have to sit down and write all that, the government taxes your gas. But if you can do a tax deduction on that, boom, you save a whole bunch of money. So in the beginning, it really truly is about having a good idea of what overhead costs can be reduced, and then where you can save money when it comes to taxes. A lot of startups miss that. There are a lot of write-off when it comes to starting up a business, buying a building, buying your supplies, buying certain amounts of equipment, buying certain vehicles, insurance, clothing, things like that that are essential to your business. A lot of that are tax write-offs. But if you don't understand that or know that, then when you sit down and write those taxes, they're going to go ahead and exactly tax you. Illinois does a very good job of not telling you what you need to do as a business. And they do a very great job. Because in Wisconsin, as soon as you register your business, you're forced to sign up for a sales tax. In the state of Illinois, that's a whole different registration, a whole different thing that you have to do from your LLC. So some people get on there and think, I got my LLC, that's all that I need to do, not knowing that you're not even registered for sales tax in Illinois. You're not even registered to pay employees correctly. So that's where a bookkeeper comes in. We have that knowledge to tell you, hey, I know you just lost, but you need to get the sales tax, because what you're selling is taxable. And if you do not do that, the government is going to come get their money. Self-employment tax. You have to pay those self-employment taxes. If you don't, they're going to come get their money from you. They're going to fine you. So it's all about the knowledge that a bookkeeper gives you at the very, very beginning. And we become more valuable when you begin to scale. And you get to the point where you cannot spend time in your books. A lot of my clients, they were trying to do it. They're trying to do it themselves. And at the beginning, it worked. But now they have to worry about employees. They have to worry about meetings. They have to worry about bringing in the business. They do not have time to spend the 2 hours you should spend a day on your books. They don't have that time. They don't have the time to spend 10 to 12 hours a week sitting down, organizing the little bitty parts of their business. They don't have time for that. And what happens is now that mess starts to build up. Because if you're not taking care of it and it's not being taken care of, things start to build up. And then that's when you start missing quarterly taxes. That's when you start missing people paying you or owing you money. You start missing that you got bills due. Those little bitty things. And as you scale, you don't want those to be a problem, because it's going to bring you right back down.
Facts.
If you don't have enough money to pay your employees, but you don't have no idea of that, the employee's going to walk in the door next week and you struck. Right? So it's as you scale and you grow, that's when you start to need a bookkeeper. When you realize, I don't have the time to really sit here and focus on this very important information. You can't avoid your money in the business. Bottom line matters. And if you're in the red, then we ain't even talking.
All right. You said a few things. I'm going to bring back up some things you said so people understand, right? And also, let me share this with you too. So I heard something recently that I was like, yeah, let me see what I can do, because I want more people to understand how important you are, because we don't have a lot of you. And by a lot of you, I just mean an honest bookkeeper that's in the community that we can reach out to and touch, that can help us in our business to make sure we're doing business straight from the beginning, so that we don't get down the road. And it's better, what they say, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure.
Yep.
Right? And that's why a bookkeeper is your ounce of prevention.
Yep.
Better than getting your pound of cure. One is heavier on your life.
Yeah.
So personally, right, on a personal level, my household, we're doing better than we've ever done, right? I put it like that. I heard David Shands on, I want to say, Social Proof Podcast, talk about how he was like, yo, I made all these millions, but then I had to pay like something stupid in taxes. And he was talking to a tax strategist, and he's like, yo, you're not playing the game correctly. Like, there's no reason because rich people understand how to beat the tax game. Taxes are for poor people. Rich people understand, like, yo, I'm not paying all those taxes. I'm going to find ways to put my money in investments that's going to bring my bottom line all the way down. So people get mad at like Trump, but Trump's smart. He understands how to play the tax game, right? So you said something, right? I mentioned that because that's where I was at personally. I was like, yo, I got to get sis. I gotta do something. People need to know she got this service out here. You mentioned something for businesses about scale. And I'm always telling people like, yo, can you help me scale my business? I'm like, nah, you're not ready to scale. You're ready to grow, but you're not ready to scale. Scale's a 7-figure term.
Yeah.
Grow is till you get to 7 figures, right?
Yeah.
You're ready to grow your business. You ain't quite ready to scale your business yet, right? Can you talk about kind of that process of how you can help people grow their business to the point where they can scale?
Yep. So again, it comes down to organization for me. When you get to that point where you're trying to truly scale your business from a 5, 4 to a 7-figure level, it comes down to organization. For example, today I helped my client. My client almost missed $9,000. They almost gave $9,000 worth of services away for free because of one simple mistake that they made on their end. But when you have somebody like me who's very detailed, who's going to check your bank statements, who's going to check against QuickBooks, who's going to double and triple check and be like, hey, did you know that this person hasn't paid their money, but you've written it down that they did? Then you're like, so it's really about having that person on your team that one is knowledgeable. My clients can come to me about anything. Hey, one of my clients, hey, I'm trying to buy a building. Should I take it out of my personal account or should I take it out of my business? Which one is more tax deductible? It's about having that person that you can go to and ask the questions that you do not know. That's how I have my clients grow in profitability. Because if my client would have bought that with their personal money, they can't write that off of taxes. You can't do that. But if you buy that building with your business money, now we're talking about you can write that off as taxes. You can write that material off as taxes. You can do this, that, and the other. But if you don't have anybody who is aware of your tax saving opportunities, you're going to miss them. If you don't have somebody who can record every receipt, then you're going to miss those tax opportunities. And then you're going to be paying the government money. If you don't have somebody that's there and making sure, hey, your quarterly taxes are due. I had one woman, she was 3 days late for her quarterly taxes. They fined her $7,000 for being 3 days late. Now imagine if you're growing a business and the government tells you you didn't pay your taxes, now you got to pay us $7,000. Guess how much it's going to scale you back, right? Another client that I have, he told me that he wasn't checking his mail, so he didn't know that he had sales tax due. And by the time he got in contact with me, it was like July 14th. And the letter said if he didn't have it paid by July 31st, they were seizing everything. All his properties under his LLC, they were going to seize them. So we had to sit down, do a year worth of his sales taxes, and they didn't even come out to the amount that he would have been fined.
Wow.
So it's all about having the knowledge. Because a lot of people that you don't have the bookkeeping and accounting knowledge. I was in school for this. I got certified for this. So it really comes down to somebody who really knows. That's how I scale them. Is I either catch their mistakes. They're very costly mistakes, so it doesn't cost them that. I position them so that they're not losing money. When you're growing, you can't grow if you're losing. So I make sure that all my business clients, they're on the path to growth. And then you have a clear amount. You can have a clear vision of how much money that you can invest into other things that's going to help your income grow. Secondly, investors, when they're asking you for statements, they're not asking you for bank statements. They're asking you for a profit and loss statement. They're asking you for balance sheets. If you do not have those there to prove, for example, if I told somebody right now on this live, I'll give you $1 million free. No, I want zero equity in your company. I'll give you $1 million. All I need is your P&L statement for the last 6 months. If you can't give me that, then you just lost off $1 million with no equity. So it's truly just about having a person that has knowledge that can prepare you and put you in position to grow. And that's what I do for my clients. I put them in position that they truly always know what's going on with their money, how they can save their money, how they can make more of their money, where they can invest their money, and then what can be a tax write-off. That's how I put them on the road to being profitable. Because once you don't even have to worry about that yourself, one phone call and I can answer that question for you. Malaysia, how much money did I make on this project this month? No problem. Pull up my QuickBooks sheet, send it to you right over. Now you know how much you spent on that project and how you can do better next time, right? So it's about having that and not even having to worry whether it's accurate or not. It's going to always be accurate. So that's how I do that.
So let me give some perspective then to some of our viewers that may be entrepreneurs that's watching, okay? And I see this all the time from my side, right? I see this every day, actually, every single day, all right? And it's the importance of you, right? If Malaysia's charging you $3,000 for X, Y, or Z service, the way we've been taught, because we don't have financial literacy for the most part, or we lack financial literacy, and because we don't understand the big picture. Because it's not like most of us understand, yo, I got to get a publicist over here. I got to get a CPA over here. I need an attorney over here. If you lack the big picture, we see that $3,000 as that's too much of a burden to pay her. And I'm not going to pay her that amount of money because I'll lose, right? But what we don't understand, if they would have paid you the $3,000, then you help them save $30,000. You're not paying. That's an investment. You just made a $3,000 investment to make $27,000. Yeah. But because we don't understand financial literacy, we don't see it that way. So that was one of the reasons I'm like, yo, I need people to understand how this works. Like, I need you to see.
A good bookkeeper, that's my motto. A good bookkeeper is always going to save you more money than they are costing you, which makes them essentially free. You can either pay me $3,000 or pay the government $6,000 when they look at your books and see that it's not right. Facts. So a good bookkeeper, if they're not saving you money, then you need to sit down and re-strategize and look at what they got going on. But I'm saving my clients so much money. My client paid me, for example, $1,000. If I just save them $9,000 from losing $9,000 and all they're paying me is $3,000, who win it?
Man, I hope that the folks watching this understand and hear what you just said. I think it was Jay-Z. Jay-Z said, the price of everything, but the value of nothing, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, the price might have been $3,000, but what's the value, right? Yeah. The actual value. Here's the problem with us. We'll buy Louis Vuitton, and the price we brag on, like, yo, the price of this Louis Vuitton shirt that I just went and bought, this Louis Vuitton shirt was $2,500. But the actual value of that shirt is like $100.
Come on now. Yeah.
So we know the price of everything, but the value of nothing. A bookkeeper, here's the thing. If she says, I'm charging you $5,000, but if you plan on making real money, and I'm charging you $5,000, and you say, well, what benefits do I get with that $5,000? You say, well, looking at your books, I'm probably about to save you $100,000. No person that's wise is going to look at that and be like, nah, that's too much. It's going to cost you more to not have her service than it's going to cost you to have the service. And that's my main message I'm trying to get across to people. You need the service. Like, if you plan on doing big numbers in business, if you plan on getting wealthy, if you plan on crossing over to the 1%, I don't know. None of my rich friends, nobody I know that has money doesn't have a bookkeeper. I just don't know them. Maybe they exist, but none of my rich friends don't have. They all have the service because everybody's looking like, yo, how can, like, when me and my wife was looking like, yo, when we started seeing how much money we was making, we didn't run out like, yo, you know what? It's time to go get that new Benz. We didn't run out like, yo, it's time to go get that new Maybach. Yo, before we splurge, do anything crazy, make sure that we have bookkeepers to keep our books in order so we can, because a bookkeeper is going to help you see reality. Yeah. You don't really have $100,000 that you didn't just make $100,000 that day. You know what I'm saying? It might have said you made $100,000, but you didn't just make $100,000 that day. On paper, it says you made $100,000, but you didn't make $100,000. You know what I'm saying? That's the value that I'm hoping people see. That's why I was like, yo, we got to do this piece. We got to put the word out there because and I'm just thinking on a local level, how many entrepreneurs around here don't understand the importance of having a bookkeeper? Like, it's an essential piece that you got to have. You have to have that piece if you want to scale, if you want to grow, if you want to go to the next level. Like, here's the thing. You might be in the beginning stages. You might, why would I need a bookkeeper, right? Why make all the mistakes that many of us make? Because we don't know how to keep books. When you can nip it in the bud in the very beginning. Even if you don't have a lot of money, figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure it out. And it'll do you better, because now you'll be more profitable, because you'll be able to make more money, because you'll make less mistakes. You'll understand your write-offs. You'll understand what your deductions are. You'll understand the different things that you can do. So I don't know, sis. I hope people is hearing you. I hope they
either gonna hear me or the IRS. It's either one. Because I think
facts.
sometimes with small businesses, they think that they're not at risk to being audited. They think they're not at risk to, lose money. But the government, as soon as you register your LLC, you're at risk. As soon as you register that S Corp, whatever it may be, you're at risk. At any time, they can pull your records. And if it's not making sense to them, they're going to get their money. They want more money. That is why they don't tell you a lot of things when it comes to tax saving opportunities, because they want their money. That's why every time, if you are working, you look at your paycheck and you like, why is the government taking this much money? Because they want their money. They're going to get their money either now or later, but they're definitely going to wait until you're making that 500 to a 1 million, a million above, to really start to find you those big bucks. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you
know what? I gotta share this, right? I gotta share this. So I got a bro. He's a little bit up there. He's a little bit big time entrepreneur, right? Y'all, you might know him. So A. Donahue Baker. He put me on something I've never heard in my life, because I grew up in poverty, just like you, right?
Yeah.
He talked about what is a home office, right? And I never knew. I don't know what a home office is, because I'm from poverty. So nobody around me. I thought a home office is working in your home, right? Home office, right? Only service clients who make $100 million or more. If you don't make $100 million, you're not even in the game, right? Only service clients who make $100 million or more. And the home office may have like an attorney, CPA, all these different pieces that go into the home office. But the big thing that they do is write the financial laws that get pushed. So they write the loopholes into the law. Then when the law comes out, they manipulate or take advantage of the financial loophole. Then for most of us on the ground level, because we don't have a bookkeeper, we don't have CPA, we don't have somebody that's helping us to stay organized, by the time we find out there's new loopholes. We found out last year's loopholes the next year, because we're not connected to nobody that's connected to somebody that actually wrote the loopholes into the law. So financially we lose every time, and then the rich get richer and we stay poor, and we can't figure this thing out, when it's as simple as get you somebody that understands the language. It's like, I'm not a doctor. I don't try to diagnose myself. I'm not on what's that, WebMD? Like I did I think I got cancer. Like, no, that's not how that works. You go to the doctor. They understand their lane. You don't go to court like, yo, I'm gonna represent myself, and you doing a big case. No, you get an attorney, right?
Exactly.
So why, if you're trying to get wealthy, why would you not go get a bookkeeper to help you keep your books, to help you keep your stuff organized, but also to win the tax game? Can you talk about that for a little bit? Just can you talk about that tax game? Because I don't think a lot of us understand how valuable that is. Like, for me, that's everything. That's all I need to hear. Like, I'm in there. So just talk about that tax game for a little bit.
No, before I jump in the tax game, you made a really good point. I'm like a financial doctor. When we are sick, we have a mild cold, we try to handle it ourselves. But when that problem gets too big for us to handle, what do? We go to a doctor. Why? Because that doctor is educated on how to heal us correctly. They can diagnose the problem correctly. Same thing with me. There is nothing that I haven't seen. So a lot of times people are hesitant because they want to hide the mistakes. They want to hide the fact that they don't really know what's going on in their business. Everybody else thinks that I'm doing so good, but I don't know where my money is going at the end of the month. But me, I've seen it all. I've seen people at their high, seen people at their low. I've seen people that with millions of dollars crying because they can't figure out where their money is going. So I've seen it all, just like a doctor. So I'm like a financial doctor. You bring those problems, you bring your sickness to me. I give you the prescription to heal you, or I put you in surgery and I fix you. That's exactly what it is, And then when it comes to taxes, that is a game that I love me some taxes, okay? Because I recently just figured out, there's different taxes for different formations. LLC from an S corp, you can save a lot of money being an S corp instead of LLC. When it comes to the tax game, there's a lot more loopholes for S corps and C corps than there are for LLCs. So it's truly about, and then it depends on your industry. Real estate, if you're in real estate, there are so many new tax loops and laws that's just dropped that's going to essentially make your rentals free. Check those out. Go to irs.gov. I'm on irs.gov every other weekend, okay? Because it depends on your industry. It depends on what you got going on. Because all that money that you're spending, some products, some services, the government then double taxes you on. See, you got to know that too. You got to know where they're taxing you, because sometimes they double tax you. Sometimes you think you're spending this much money and then they're taxing you twice on it. So you got to know what they're double taxing you on and then how to reduce those taxes. So when it comes to taxes, like I said, it's so many, and it's really based on your industry. Real estate, there's a lot going on in real estate right now. There's a lot going on in service-based businesses. There's a lot going on for manufacturers right now. So it's truly just about whatever your industry is, seeing what the most important loop. Most importantly, the first thing you need to do is see what is costing me the most in my business, supplies wise. Am I spending more on office supplies? Am I spending more on inventory? And then look at your specific industry and see what major tax saving opportunities there is for you and your money.
So you reminded me of something. My first coach that I had, who was Professor Devin Robinson, who helped me open my beauty supply store, we took his course before opening the store, right, to prepare. And he taught that there's two sides to running a business, but most people only understand one side. Like, one side is technical, one side is mechanical, right? Mm-hmm. Most of us, you're like, yo, I want to be a car mechanic, or I want to be an author, or I want to be, whatever it is that you want to be. I want to be a marketer, right? You are passionate and understand the passion side. You understand your skill set. You like, I could do this night and day, and I'm so good, people will pay me for it. But most of us don't understand the business side. And because we don't understand the business side, that's why most of our businesses don't make it. It's not that we're not good with our passion. We're not good with our business. So we have to get better with our business. And what I'm saying is that somebody like Malasia can help you on the business side. That's until you learn it. And here's the thing. One thing I learned is I don't want to take the time to learn what you know. Like, I'm gonna pay you and be like, yo, put me on game. That's it. Like, I be dropping stuff on people. They be like, yo, where you get that? Oh, tax strategist said X, Y, and Z. But I just got it from them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, because that's not my strong suit. Like, my strong suit and my passion where I'm at, cool, boom, I'm a business coach. I can help you, all these things, boom. But once I get you up and running, we get you profitable. Listen, there's a whole other world out there. You've only got 50%. This is not the big picture. Most of us are missing the big picture, which is the business side of doing business, which it has paperwork, has records, has organization. And here's the thing about me. Know yourself. I know for a fact that Brother Henry is not organized. All right. My wife will tell you, like, yo, man, like, listen, put your shoes on the shoe rack. No, I'm just going to leave them on the ground. Right. Something small, but it carries over into business. Right. If you know you're that type of person, you have to have a book. You just have to. Because you're going to kill your business before you get a chance to grow your business. And unfortunately, I don't know what the stat is, but it's like a crazy number of businesses that don't make it 5 years because we're just not organized enough. We don't have our I's dotted and our T's crossed. So I know I keep hitting these same points, but that's because you're talking real good right now. You're talking real good. What would you say? What advice would you give for entrepreneurs who may see this live and they're like, yo, okay, I need a bookkeeper. Where should they start? What would you suggest they start at?
First thing, make sure you vet these people. Make sure they're not just a QuickBooks bookkeeper. Make sure they actually have knowledge about accounting fundamentals. Some people out here, and I've met some, they're just QuickBook bookkeepers. They know how to put the transactions into QuickBooks or their accounting software, and then that software does all the back end. You gotta know somebody. You gotta have somebody who knows the debits and the credits, who knows what goes where, all the accounting principles, who knows the accounting the formula, assets, all of that type of things. If they can't tell you those type of things, then they're not the person for you. experience. Of course, you want to find somebody who's been in the game for at least 2 years, who knows, ask them tax questions. Hey, I'm running this type of business. What do you think my major tax saving opportunities are? If they can't answer that question for you, they're not the right fit for you. For example, Steve Harvey lost $28 million because his first mistake was he had an accountant for 7 years. He never checked on that account. He never checked on his money. He never sat down and be like, hey, I need my sheets. I need to know what you got going on. He never checked on that. So what happened was that accountant was then stealing from him for 7 years. And after stealing from him for 7 years, he ended up owing $28 million in bad taxes. And when it comes down to the IRS does not care who stole from you. They want the money from you.
Right.
You can sue that person all that you want. They still want their money. And it got to the point where he really truly had to sit down, and his people were saying, I don't even know if we can continue working for him. So it's really truly about finding somebody that you can really trust, and then also trust yourself. Don't just try to, just because they look good and they look like they got what's going on. Let them play in your books for a little bit, see how they do. But if something's not adding up and it's not making sense to you and they can't answer those questions that you need, then it's time for you to go find somebody else. All my clients call me all the time, email me all the time whenever they have questions. And there's not been a question I have not been able to answer. That's because I immersed myself in learning everything I need to know about accounting and bookkeeping and my clients' industry. So if your person can't do that for you, they are not the right individual for you.
Okay. Now we about to wind up, but I'm loving it though. I posted on my Facebook page today 2 stats. Somebody made me go fact check. Like, yo, can you show me the sources? I'm like, yeah, but you should know I do my research by now. If not, though, it's cool. Stat number 1 said 50% of Americans die broke, meaning with less than $10,000 in their bank account, and they live poor and die broke. The other statistic said that Black America by 2053 will have a $0 median income, household income. How can getting a bookkeeper help entrepreneurs avoid those pitfalls that are predicted to come from, especially for the Black community?
One, it's catching, like I said, it's always catching those costly mistakes. It's about organization. When it comes down to having a successful business, you got to know the ins and out of your money. A lot of people, when they first come to me, their problem is, Malasia, I'm making all this money a month, but at the end of the month, I don't have any money. Where is all my money going? That's the number one question I get asked all the time. And when we sit down and we look at the books and we look at you spent $100,000 at Victoria's Secret or at the Louis store, when you should have been spending it on the payroll that was due. It's about having somebody who can sit down, lay your finances clear in front of you and tell you these are the areas that the money is being spent. 15 people steal. People you trust can steal from your business.
That's facts.
You think that they're taking the whole deposit to the bank and then it took $20, $50 off the top of it. It's about having somebody that can truly sit down and tell you, hey, this is what I forecast for your finances for the future. Here is what your current cash flow is. Here is what you have in assets that you can liquidate at any time. So when that medium hits 0 and you need to provide for your family, here's the assets that you can then sell from your business to then provide for your family. Here is what you owe people. You got to always know what you owe people. And then here's how much investment you actually have into this business. So it's about having somebody who can always sit there whenever you call, because when that medium hits 0 or when it hits that low number, you need to be able to know how much money do I have to survive. And if you don't know how much money you have to survive, you're struck. So that's the importance of a bookkeeper. I'm going to always let you know how much money you truly have to survive. Not what you think off the top of your head, not what you remember from the last time you checked, but a very accurate pinpoint number of how much money your business is making. And then from that point, we can figure out which ones were your most profitable months. Which products were your most profitable products? Which ones do you need to push more? Which customers are bringing in the most money that you need to stay in contact with? Those type of little things. That's what a bookkeeper does. People don't know that. When it comes to my client, hey, I pull up a report. These customers are paying you all this money. This one's paying you the most though. You need to send them an actual a letter or something. You know, get close to this person. This product is selling the most above this one. Push this product more. It's about those type of things that are going to then change how the future happens for you, because you know which parts of your business is most successful and which ones you need to push more moving forward.
My brother Dwayne says, what do you think is going to happen when the IRS comes for those PPP? I'm going to let you answer this, sis. What happens when the IRS comes for those PPP loans?
It depends on how much you took out and how much you lied. It really depends on how much you lied. Because let me say this right now. Y'all stop lying. Stop lying on y'all taxes. Stop lying when it comes to your money. They will find out. I had somebody who was trying their hardest to convince me to lie for them when it came to certain taxes, make the number $1,000 short. I'm like, no, sir, because they Square, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of those places now report to the federal government before you do. So while you asking me to lie, they're already reporting it. So you got to stop lying to these people. They will eventually find out. People think that they're working the system. They're going to find out. They just put I think $80 million to hire 80,000 worth of IRS agents just to focus on small businesses. Why? A recession is coming. The government needs money to protect themselves. So they're going to hit those. They're going to hit those businesses that don't have their books in order. So when it comes to PPP loan, it's about how much you lied. If you lied about the income in your business, what they're going to do is they're going to take what you said, compare it to other businesses in your industry, compare it to your tax returns, and if they're not matching what you said it is, then you can expect to get fined or go to jail. It's just that simple. You're going to get fined or you're going to go to jail, or they're going to seize all your property. And I mean, you're just done for.
you know what's dope about this? Like, okay, right? I feel like I read a lot, but I feel like in your industry, like I feel like you read like 5 times more than me. Like, just because you all have to stay up on so many things that move so fast, and it's always changing. And for your clients, you got to stay way ahead of the game. You know what I mean? Like, where I'm at, I can read something and like deal with it. And I like, yo, the next 6 months, we just going to deal with mindset. You know what I'm saying? And like, yo, mindset's pretty much going to be the same for the next 1,000 years. It ain't really going to change. But like, I really feel like as a bookkeeper, man, like y'all intellect, because you all are so sharp and got to be on your game like that. So I appreciate it, because it's, you know, it's a breath of fresh air to see. Like, yo, like you really on top of your game, and I love it, man. That goes to show, though, just the importance, because I know that if I feel like that, and I read every day, then I'm just thinking about the average person that's not reading. They have no clue how important this is to their survivability, especially if you think about them talking about the median income of the Black household being $0 by 2053. You know, 2053 is not that far away.
No.
That's we about 20, 25 years away from that. That's around the corner.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy to me. So I definitely appreciate you, sis, for taking time, dropping these jewels. Like, we have to do this again. This is lit. Like, I need to be around my friends that talk about money, because that's if you don't talk about it, how you gonna get there?
Exactly. And if I just give one piece of advice to everybody, because to me, it's not just about the money. A lot of my businesses that I go to, my clients, their children are running around their restaurants. Their children are running around their offices, because they want their business to become generational. You can't pass down broke. You can't pass down a red line. You do not want to pass down a business that owes all this money to your children. You want to have that business so in order that it's a seamless transition when it comes to that generational wealth. So if you're serious about, you know, your children, your generational wealth, your employees who depend on you. People have employees that depend on you. Their families depend on you. You cannot keep making those same mistakes. If you know that if you know you don't have control over it, then it's time to make that change and get control of it. Become the hero in your own story, and delegate. Find somebody who can truly help save you, save your employees' family, save your children's future wealth. All those things matter. It's not just about the business side of it. There's personal in this too, because everything that you invested is in this business. You either let that grow or you let that fail.
Absolutely. So you're saying basically, if you don't come from a rich family, then a rich family got to come from you. I love it. And you know what's, it's so important too? Like for me, I always wanted to be the person who the family can lean on if they need something in that jam. And just imagine, like for the viewers, just imagine if you're in a situation where somebody you love truly, your mom, your dad, you know, a spouse, or you know, significant other, or just whoever, your best friend, like they get just ill, they get sick, and the insurance does all they can do, and they need like surgery or something to save their life, like, but the surgery is an extra $5,000.
Yep.
And you haven't positioned yourself like you could have if you kept your books in order. That same $5,000 that you just paid out could have been the money that you could have, like, yo, I'm gonna bring my best friend an extra 7 years of life because my books were in order, and I have this extra money over here in the kitty that I can now put towards impacting somebody's life. Like, it's bigger. The money aspect is good, but in truth, money is just a byproduct of your impact. It's just a byproduct of the value that you bring to the market. So it's good, and money is good to have, but money is just is the end result because you actually did something to earn that money. So, you know, that's why having that bookkeeper is important, man. That $5,000 could be the difference between your friend dying tomorrow or your friend dying 7, 8, 9, 10 years from now. So, you know, it's very important for us, man, and especially like young Black entrepreneurs getting into the game. I know the things we want, you know, to be flashy. We want the designer. We want luxury. We want the vacations. We want the cars, the big house. But I can promise you this: as you climb up and as you get there, those aren't the things that's going to keep you happy.
Yep.
You might be happy momentarily, right? But even after that momentary happiness, you got to have something else that fulfills you, that makes you feel like, yo, I got to keep doing this. Because what, like for me, my dad just asked me this. I saw my dad, he stopped by the house like a week ago. He came by with his wife and he was like, yo, how much money is too much money? And I was like, huh? He was like, yo, like if you make $2 million this year, are you going to stop? I'm like, no. He's like, well, if you make 10 million, are you going to stop? I'm like, no. He's like, well, how much is too much? And I'm like, it's not about the money. It's the journey. It's the value of the impact of touching people's lives. So I have a school dealing with children. Those children keep me young. So the value that they pay in tuition is nothing for me, that they keep me young because they, like, I didn't know what being on Fleek was. They put me up on that, whatever, you know, they put me up on whatever these new things that the young people do. So for me, the value that they bring to me is more valuable than the actual money itself. So, you know, I just hope people, you know, tap in with that and understand. But if you like me and you grew up in poverty, understand having money, like Kanye said, having money is everything that not having money is. And you should definitely be focused on getting a bag to change your life and the life of the people that you love that's around you. Get the bag.
Come on now.
Bag.
If you seeing this is a sign. This is a sign right here. It's time. It's getting your bag season. This is your future right here. Get in your bag. Let's do it together. Get in your bag, y'all.
Man. And understand, family, we all need each other. Like, you're going to need your bookkeeper. You're going to need your attorney. You're going to need a publicist. You're going to need all these different pieces. You're going to need them. So it's better if we all can eat together. That's why I was so happy Sis came, because I'm like, yo, people need to see that, like, we all need to work together because we can get the bag together. It's not like, yo, she got it, now how I'm going to get it. No, if she got it, she can help you to get it. That's what we got to see. So I'm super excited that you came on here tonight. So we got to do this again. We got to do this again. It's not enough of us having this conversation in this area. I know Facebook is national and we got people all over, but like just where we live at, there's not enough of us having this conversation to really like impact, you know, where we live just locally. And if more of us had this conversation, I think a lot of the things that we see in our communities, we could circumvent, or we could help to prevent if we were having this conversation on a regular basis. Something is as what may be small to somebody. Yo, get a bookkeeper. Yo, what's a bookkeeper? I know somebody that saw this live tonight was like, yo, what does she do? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and if you watch this live on the playback, yo, make sure I'm gonna drop you. You know what? I'm gonna put this on YouTube so we can drop your information so everybody can see it.
Yeah.
I don't know. They gotta link up with you. They gotta do that. So I appreciate you coming on, sis. Oh, you know what? Let me say this selfishly. I got a mastermind that's running for a year straight. All right. In this mastermind, there's a cost to it, and nothing's free. And if it was free, you wouldn't get the value of it. But in this mastermind, you should be able to make your money back like that. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's running for a year straight, starting in September, and I got a few seats left, and it's gonna be off the chain. Like, I have several coaches, and I'm always looking for coaches that give me the newest information, the newest ways, the newest things. It's like, yo, if you do this, you can run up an extra bag, and it's all about creating those streams, those revenue streams of income based on what you do. So, anyway, again, I give my selfish plug, but sis, I'm so happy that you popped in on me. It's always my honor and privilege. Anytime we get to build and link up like this, we got to do a part 2. People need it. They need it. They need to get fed. We need to talk about like the next time we come, you need to talk about some of like your clients and like some real situations that they've been in and how they were able to get out and, you know, what you actually had to do on your end to get them out. Because I don't think people understand the work you put in. You know? Yeah, that's real. So I definitely appreciate you, sis. We'll link up for part 2. They gotta have it, and we'll keep these going. This was powerful.
Yes. Thank you for having me. Everybody stay blessed. Have a good night. Go to Malasia Jordan if you want to talk to me. Do not be afraid to inbox me. Do not be ashamed. I've seen it all. Inbox me. You can visit my website. Right now it's still bookworthybooks.com. It will be changing September 1st, but right now that's what it is. So make sure you guys check me out.
You got any other socials? Instagram, podcast, YouTube, drop all that.
Yep. So make sure you follow me on all social medias at Malasia Jordan at this point. And you can also follow me at the Bougie Bookkeeper. I've changed all my social medias over to at the Bougie. Bougie spelled Bougee Bookkeeper. And also make sure you check me out tomorrow on Soulful Discussions from 7 to 8 p.m. located in Rockford, Illinois on WGLB.live. And make sure you check out Relevant Features podcast as well. Gotta plug Bay. And yeah, that's it.
Dope. All right. Well, I'm so thankful you stopped by. We definitely got to link back up. Part 2 gonna be even bigger and better. And yo, the best is yet to come. So have a blessed night. Blessings to you and your family, and we'll definitely link back up soon.
Bye, y'all.
All right, later, y'all.